Hello and welcome in. This is Divination Rainbow. Today we are going to be changing things up a little bit and doing a collective energy reading. We have 4 oracle cards here on the table, and I'm going to go through each one as a separate pile. I would encourage you to take a moment and choose which one of these cards resonates with you the most, and potentially if you have more than one, or if there are a couple of different situations or things on your mind that you may be contemplating, I would encourage you to isolate which ones you are resonating with the most, and I will include timestamps in the description so that you can go into each pile a little further. Also, I would just like to go ahead and say thank you to everyone who is subscribed or who has taken the time to interact with commenting or liking anything on the channel up to this point. Where the channel is really new, it does help out a lot, and I would just like to extend my gratitude. So without any further delay, we're going to go ahead and get started with the first pile. All right. The first pile we have here, the card that you went with as your overall oracle card for this reading, is the Morrigan. And the Morrigan is actually an Irish goddess who has been associated with things like prophecy, with war, someone who has ravens that bring about visions to her. She was a very powerful figure who was emboldened and empowered. She was also a shapeshifter, and she was able to stir up wars and conflict with her power where she would go. She would also be able to have kind of a hand in the fates of who lived and who died. This card is representing the need from within to be able to find courage and to be able to stand in your power in the face of fear, and also knowing when it's time to fight for what you want. Not being the kind of person who is going to look back and take regret or have shame over the actions that you've done, but someone who is able to fight with confidence and conviction. This also has a lot of Aries energy behind it. This card is symbolizing that it's time to take bold action. Let's see what other information we can take a look at this time. What has been going on in the recent past for you? All right, so I see here getting into a point recently where you were having a lot more control over your thoughts and emotions, starting to trust your intuition more, and wanting to find a little bit more of a balance between the material and your inner wisdom. The energy that you're in currently is going even deeper into that state where you're really trusting your intuition and being able to connect with more of your spiritual side, maybe even spending more time with your spiritual team. And I see for someone, you're really taking a step back from things like physical relationships and focusing more on your spiritual side. And it is going to be bringing you into a bit of an energy in the near future where you are surrounded by abundance. You are going to have the fulfillment of your dreams and your wishes in a way that allows you to share with others in the community around you. How beautiful is that? And what we don't see here is even more community, okay? Even more community where you're going to have a true sense of belonging. That's beautiful. And now we're going to go ahead and just see what oracle guidance we can get as you take these next steps forward and focusing on continuing to grow that spiritual energy. Yeah, okay. Continue to walk on your path and know that you are doing what is best for you. Definitely, there may be times where you are going to have to, once again, stand in your power and know when to fight the good fight, but you are a free thinking individual. You are someone who is strong, and with the courage, you have the ability to be able to take these things to the next level and doing what you know is best for yourself and those around you. I love to see it. All right, and that's going to be it for you for today, pile one. All right, if you picked the achievement card here, welcome in. This card is representative of the energy of the moon slipping into Sagittarius prior to a new moon in Capricorn. So it's really carrying an energy of a rebirth of power, and that comes from being strategic, not coming from sitting back and relaxing. It's coming from a place where you're really deeper and committed to making your actions aligned with the outcome that you desire. But with doing so, this card carries the energy of being able to achieve what you want as long as you are showing up and doing the work. So that is the overall energy that we are going to be reading on today. Someone who is ready to put the time and the work in, definitely having gathered information and taking informed steps from a place of intelligence. Let's see what's been going on in your energy recently, in the recent past here. So we see in the recent past, we actually have the Page of Cups in reverse. So I'm seeing an energy of someone who was potentially in a space where they were having a lack of inspiration, wanting to be able to make things happen, but having a little bit of a lack of inspiration. And that energy could be also carrying into the present now, where we're seeing the sun in reverse, having a little bit of maybe a writer's block or some creativity that's been stifled recently, and it's taking away from how you would normally express your purpose or feel joy. But I'm seeing not to worry, because in the quickly coming in the soon to be, we're seeing here that energy is going to be returning, that inner spark, that deeper inspiration, and that little bit of magic that you carry within that allows you to be able to take your projects and your ideas to the next level. And I also would like to go ahead and pull in a little bit of guidance for you as you navigate through this time of having potentially been in a space where your ideas haven't had all the room they need to grow. But we're going to be watering that garden and being able to bring in some newness and some opportunity. What do we need to see as far as messages from your guides? Yeah, allowing yourself to be able to take the time that you need to find that inspiration, because the spark comes from within you. You're full of great ideas here, and we can really see you having that big epiphany, knowing that this time of stagnation is soon coming to an end. And with the Eight of Wands, we know that it's going to be happening quickly. It might be something where you have to take one last push and finding that motivation from within in a time where that well has been maybe a little bit more dry. But just take confidence in knowing that you have what it takes, and the talent that you have already cultivated is going to be enough. I love to see that, because you are the star. And that really feels like the message for you if you chose the achievement card. Okay, if you chose the communication card, that is this one here, welcome on in. This card is representing the new moon in Taurus before it shifts from Taurus to Gemini. So it's carrying the energy of being able to communicate and speak with others, because there could likely be a little bit of a discord or some type of energy of the vibe being off between you, and it's not going to resolve itself without communication. It's letting you know that one of the things that you need to be able to harness in this lifetime to be able to reach your full potential is being able to speak freely with others and being able to look at why you are speaking to people the way that you are, and whether or not the way you are speaking to people is causing any kind of rift in the energy between you. It's important to be able to focus on the time, to be able to have good relationships with those around you, because it can really impact not only the way that people feel about you, but the way that you feel about yourself. So if that is resonating with you, we're going to get a little bit more information about the energy surrounding you in the recent past. The Tower. So something recently was a little bit of an unexpected shakeup. There was something going on that you absolutely did not see coming. And it doesn't necessarily have to have been a bad thing, but it's likely to have caused what we're seeing now as a need to kind of talk things through with those around you. Presently, I see you're in a state where you're not really trusting everything and you're kind of feeling a little bit isolated from others. You're also having a little bit of a competitive energy. So definitely reinforcing the need to kind of level set and get on the same ground. But we're seeing that soon to come in, there is going to be an opportunity for you to be back on top in a sense of really welcoming in and having control of your emotions and welcoming in those conversations. All right. And it's going to allow you to be able to have a lot more abundance in your life. It's going to allow you to be able to put back into the community, and it's going to allow you to be able to correspond with people around you in a way that is much more productive. So as you move through that energy, let's see what guidance there may be coming in from your guides. Seek guidance. Yep. Let go of the past, okay? And take time to be able to connect with your inner child. Things don't have to always go the way that they have gone before. And this is your chance with this communication to really be able to set things right. You can even talk about things that are important to you. And it's safe to do so if you're doing it from a place of love and not a place of selfish intentions. And if you're really in a place where you're not sure where to start, it's okay also to turn to some of those people in your community, like somebody who you trust, somebody who maybe has a little bit more experience in the way of being able to have those difficult conversations and getting a different perspective so that you can approach the situation from a place of openness and love, because that is the most productive energy that is going to bring about the best outcome in this situation. It's going to take a little bit of bravery, but it's also something that I know that you have within you, and trusting yourself is what allows that bravery to shine. What a beautiful message. You'll have to let me know how this conversation goes. And that is going to be what I'm pulling through for you in this group if you chose the communication card. All right, welcome in. And for the final pile here, we have Matangi. This is the card of expression, and this card is carrying the energy of a deep sensual type of goddess energy. This is also carrying the energy of music and harmony, the flow of expression and creativity. This is going to be carrying the energy of Gemini, and it is showing up now to remind you that your thoughts are going to shape your reality, and your words and your expression is going to be creating your life around you. It's asking you to question if you're caught right now in any negative thinking, or if you're stuck in repetitive loops that are not productive. It could be something that you really have an opportunity to break free from now, because by expecting bad things to happen or by focusing on negativity, you could potentially be attracting that to yourself. It's letting you know that it's time to really listen and communicate with others as well. So you may be even able to find some information in one of the previous piles, because I do believe the pile right before this was the communication card. So if that was resonating with you at all, maybe go back and watch that one after this. So let's go ahead and look at this need for expression right now, this need for mindfulness as we're thinking about the way that you're thinking and speaking to yourself. What was going on in your energy recently? Okay, so I'm seeing someone here who was at a little bit of a time of trying to get more information and being a little bit in a crossroads, not really sure, but being faced with a choice and maybe even having to choose sides in a social setting. So, what's going on with you right now in the present energy that you're in? Okay, so now we're seeing that you're in an energy where you're ready to take a passionate action and you're definitely ready for something new. You have a lot of energy that you're approaching it with. And at the same time, coming up though, we do see a little bit of a lack mentality potentially getting in the way. So that just is a repeating message about being aware of the thoughts and the ideas that you're putting out there and what it could potentially be bringing back. And what we're not seeing is it's creating a little bit of a don't cry over spilt milk. If there was an opportunity in the past that didn't quite pan out the way that it was expected to, or if there was a situation that didn't go the way that you wanted to, don't let the negative thoughts or the energy from that prevent you from being able to achieve more in the future, because that mentality in itself cultivates lack. It's a little bit of a warning. Still, it's good to see. Always good to be mindful and aware. Let's see what guidance we can pull through now from your guides as we're focusing on shifting this pattern of thinking and being able to focus on the cultivation of abundance rather than the cultivation of lack. Perception is not always based on truth. So just because something didn't necessarily work out or go the way that you would have expected it to before does not mean that things will happen again the same way this time. And it's also a situation where you're being surrounded by an energy of luck. And if you are able to be able to reach out and ask the right parties for support, you will be supported in that way. And you will be able to find what you're looking for. Taking the time also to make heart-centered action and being able to act from a place that feels truly authentic to you, the type of person that you want to be. Even if you're not that person right now, by focusing on that energy, you will draw that in. And that is truly a beautiful message for you. And my final pile here. If you stuck through this, definitely thank you so much. And don't be afraid to go back and watch other piles if you felt like you resonated with other messages. We saw some similar themes in all of the piles here, and I think that it only feels right to just pull some overarching angel number guidance to close out the reading today, especially for those of you who may have watched multiple piles or watched through from beginning to end. Consider this to be a little bit of a bonus pull on the collective energy. All right, so we see transformation and the possibilities are endless. It's also letting you know that what you desire, you can achieve. You can manifest this in and make it happen. but it's going to require being able to do the work and take the steps necessary. Things don't always just happen on their own. It may be a matter of having a shift in your thinking and being able to refocus and center yourself, or it could be reaching out and making the connections with other people or energies around you to be able to elevate yourself that next step. But it is possible, and we see here that it is something that you're already in the process of doing. Thank you so much to the collective for joining in for this reading today. I truly appreciate your presence here. It means so much to me. And until the next time, I hope that you do take good care of yourself. Bye for now.